from New Jersey. It's the SNL Nerds, a show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
And I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
John Trumbull, how are you?
I'm okay, Darren Patterson.
Okay.
Is this how we're talking now?
No, I didn't mean to start off all like staccato. I meant to sound it like hyped up and psyched and pumped, and it came out like I don't know, like I forgot.
It came out like I am a human who knows how to talk.
This is how humans interact. But yeah, here we are on the second episode, building up to the big James Gunn Superman coming out in mere days. It's coming out.
Our Superman extravaganza. Well, actually, this week, the movie will be out by the time this episode of the podcast drops. We're recording it a little early, but on July 11th.
Ooh.
It is opening wide.
Yes, I'm super pumped, super stoked for this film. I'm saying this now, not having seen it. After I see it, who knows? Will it live up to the hype in my mind right now? Hope so.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I like what I've seen from the movie. I'm liking the cast. I have a good feeling about this David Gordon Sweat guy. He seems to be a generally good guy, and he seems to have the right attitude about the part and all. I like him. I get a good vibe from him. So
yeah. Like I think the casting is good. The chemistry seems to be on point. From what I've seen in the trailers, I like everything there. I mean, Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane is great. Nicholas Hoult as Lex. He looks like he's gonna kill it. Like I haven't seen too many things that have made me concerned or worried about this upcoming movie. So and of course we get Crypto too. Crypto's big screen debut. So
that seems like it's gonna be fun. Yeah.
Come on.
That's gonna be fun. And that was a smart thing, is like James Gunn, he seems to be really steering into all the Silver Age type stuff, and that immediately differentiates his movie from the ones that came before. So
sure.
So that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it definitely looks different than the movies, the Superman movies of the recent past. So like this definitely stands out.
Snyderverse stuff,
or even the Brandon Routh. It seems to have some similarities to it, but it does seem to be different enough that you can't really compare the two. But everything I've seen so far, I like. So they really got to fuck it up for me for it not to hit for me. But
and speaking of really fucking things up,
there we go.
This week we're covering a TV special from 1988, which was celebrating Superman's 50th anniversary. I think the full title is Superman's 50th Anniversary: A Celebration of the Man of Steel.
Yep.
But that's very wordy, so they just put Superman's 50th anniversary on screen. So I don't know what to think. What the hell? And you're like, guys, you're not a comic book podcast. What are you doing covering this? What's going on? We come here for SNL content.
And SNL content you will get, because this has so many SNL connections.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, hypothetical fan I just made up in my head. Back off a little bit. You're coming in really strong.
Yeah, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah. Secondly, we know what we're doing here. This was produced by Lorne Michaels.
Boom.
It was co-written by Rosie Schuster, who it just so happens was cousins with Joe Shuster, who is the co-creator of Superman with Jerry Siegel.
That is crazy.
That's wild, right?
Isn't that something that wild?
I've heard before that she was Joe Shuster's cousin, and I keep forgetting it, and maybe this time it'll finally stick in my head, because it's just like that. I have a passion for comedy, I have a passion for comic books, but there aren't too many connections between the two, and this is one of the few really significant ones. So it's like, oh wow,
it's pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Then the other writers on the special were Adam Green, Bruce McCullough from The Kids in the Hall, and also I think he wrote for SNL for like a season, and Mr. Robert Smigel.
Ooh,
yeah,
I know him. TV Fun House. Fun House.
It was produced by Lorne Michaels, and you might think that this was something he did for NBC, but no, this aired on CBS.
Which is wild. Yeah, because it's just weird, because he's like an NBC guy through and through, I have always thought, but I'm not sure why they decided to have this on CBS, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess it was some sort of rights thing. I mean, this was like, way before. I mean, we've had so many corporate mergers and stuff since then in the 30 odd years since this special aired. um,
Yeah. This came out February 29th, 1988.
oh well,
So,
that's appropriate because traditionally in the comics, Superman's birthday was on February 29th.
oh, you
Yeah,
don't
that was
say.
that was sort of their cute thing where it's the leap year day.
Oh,
So he'd only age once every 4 years. So
mm.
Superman didn't really age. I didn't realize it actually aired on February 29th. That's really neat. Kudos
Yeah,
to
right.
whoever scheduled that special.
Yeah. Tip of the cap to you, good sir,
I
or
wonder
or
if
ma'am.
yeah, I wonder if somebody at DC Comics maybe recommended that or something. But
Could be.
yeah.
It would make sense.
But anyway, this is on YouTube. It even starts out with a little thing saying that Kate and Alley and Designing Women will not air this week. Uh,
Yeah, two shows that have SNL alumni on them.
that's true. Yeah,
Huh? How about
yeah.
that?
We got the Jane Curtin on the Kate and Alley, and in the later seasons of Designing Women we had Jan Hooks. I don't think she was on quite yet because she's
No,
still on
no.
SNL at this time. So yeah.
Yeah. But still, yeah. Later on, she does join the show. But still, I was like, that's something.
You know what? I didn't think of that at all. Good
Uh,
call. Good spot there.
how about that?
Hmm.
Yeah. And I do like how when this special began, it had that old school CBS presentation intro. Like
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit!
The word specials coming at you, and it's like rotating, and you zoom in on the C. Like Gen Xers know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And it had that little fanfare. Oh, I always got so excited when I saw that as a kid.
yeah. Like I remember seeing that when like around Christmas time when the Frosty the Snowman special would come on, stuff like that. But either way,
Yeah,
when you saw that, dun dun, you're like, oh,
yeah,
you're like, oh shit, it's time.
yeah. You're like, I'm in for a good time.
Hmm.
Whatever I'm gonna watch. Yeah. Or it's like, did they do that for movies too on CBS? I can't remember, but
I don't.
I
Maybe.
just remember having good feelings associated with that little bumper.
Yeah. No, it was. It's one of those things that like kind of like it just attached. It's like something from your childhood. As soon as you see it, you're like, oh
Yeah,
yeah. I remember, like when the
yeah, sense
filmation.
memory. Yeah.
Yeah, like when the filmation intro bumper comes on, like
Uh huh.
that little thing before He-Man or Fat
Yeah.
Albert would come on, you'd be like, "Oh shit! All right, here we go." Or the
Yeah. Yeah.
the animated Ghostbusters. You said a little filmation thing. It's like, "Oh shit! All right, yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
we're in
it's
it."
on, bitches. Yeah.
it's on. That's what I would say. Like 11-year-old Darren be like, "Oh, it's on."
It's on, bitches.
My mom be like, "What'd you say?" Nothing.
Nothing. It's on, bitches.
that's, that's such a good impression of me at 11. How'd you do that?
Well, I know you well.
Mm.
So this special, it's an hour-long special hosted by Dana Carvey. I guess he owed Lauren a favor or something,
Right.
or maybe he's just like a huge Superman fan. I don't know. I have no idea if Carvey's a comic book fan or not. Um,
Yes.
and he starts out and he's like standing in like a wheat field, and he's like, well, this is a very important spot because it was at this very spot that Superman's rocket landed. Well, actually, there's some people who think it's this spot over here, and there are some other people who think it's that spot over there. And I'm like, oh, okay, so we're just like straight up ripping off jokes from the Ruddles. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I didn't even realize that until you just said it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen the Ruddles so many times. I was just like,
Wow.
oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, because
Eric Idle getting on the phone with his lawyer.
hello. What's all this rubbish I'm seeing on me telly? He's ripping off the rattles, he is.
Right, flawless accent.
Thank you.
Um, and I like early on they do sort of a summary or a recap of Superman's origin, but
Mm,
they edit together like different versions of the origin. They've got like for Krypton they show it from, I think it's from the original Kirk Allen serial from
mm.
like the late 40s or early 40s. I'll have to look up what year that was. And then after the rocket takes off, they cut to Superman the movie, and we see the like his spacecraft crash landing in Kansas.
Yeah, like I did notice that throughout the special there were like a lot of montages,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like mashes up of all different types of the Superman stories they've seen. Like you see like the
Yeah.
black and white from the black and white movies or TV shows, and then
Mm-hmm.
they'll put in some stuff from the Richard Donner film, and then stuff from
Right.
the animated series too, as well.
Yeah, that's. I mean, they have the Fleischer Superman cartoons from the 1940s, which are amazing. Those still look
Mm,
great. Those hold up beautifully. If you have not seen those, I highly recommend them. They're like 8-10 minutes, and they're great. They're mostly just action,
right.
but it's like Bud Collyer and Joan Alexander, who were the voices of Superman and Lois on the radio, and yeah, it was really cool. I think that was the first place that Superman actually flew. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
and they show stuff from the Kirk Allen serial from the 1940s, which that was so low budget that whenever Superman had to fly, they actually cut to animation.
Oh wow.
um, I mean, it was yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, I mean, I think they talk about it later on in the special about like how in the early days Superman really didn't fly that much,
hmm
and
hmm
then like when they had to show him in movies and TV show flying, how the maybe it was a little bit more difficult
Yeah,
thing to do, or the effects weren't really up to par because it was in the early
yeah.
days when they hadn't really perfected something
Yeah,
like that.
it was like the late 40s, early 50s, and they had a budget of like $1.98. Okay, I
Yeah.
just looked it up. The first Superman serial with Kirk Allen was in 1948. It was a 15-part thing from Columbia Pictures, and I think Columbia was kind of infamous for being like the real cheap serial
Mm,
place.
oof.
Uh, but it was successful enough that they made a sequel a couple of years later called Atom Man versus Superman.
Oh, nice.
and
Okay.
and the Lois Lane from those serials, Noelle Neal, she took over the part of Lois Lane on the George Reeves Superman show after Phyllis Coates left after the first season.
Oh, nice. And
So,
she also makes an appearance in this special.
hmm
Mhm.
she does indeed. She does
Yeah,
indeed. I was
yes,
like,
yes.
hey, we're throwing Noelle Neal a little work. Yay.
Yay! Nice, nice, nice. But
So,
yeah, yeah. But I mean, also in the special, so we see Dana Carvey going to the town Metropolis,
hmm
speaking to the Metropolians,
yeah.
Metropolians. Like he didn't know
I
exactly how to
think we'd
pronounce
call
it.
them Metropolitans, I would assume.
Yeah,
But
I would
yeah,
assume
but
so.
for
Yeah,
the sake of a joke.
yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
And they have an interview with Finn Howard, the Metropolis deputy mayor, played by the late great Fred Willard.
Fred Willard, yeah, he's doing his typical sort of Fred Willard thing, and he's talking about how Metropolis is a nice city outside of all the other stuff that it's known for. I did like they mentioned that Metropolis leads the nation in accidents and natural disasters, and they have like a montage of like earthquakes and plane crashes and things like that from various Superman media. Um,
Yeah,
that was cute. That
yeah.
was
I'm
cute.
saying Metropolis, not just Superman Town. They got museums,
hmm
cafe life,
Yeah,
theaters. They have a lot of things here.
yeah, and they also mentioned that there's a Superman museum in
Yes.
Metropolis, and they talked to the curator of the museum, and it was Ariel Dickinson, and it was played by Ellen Green from Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was
So
I thought that was pretty cool. Like a lot.
yeah, I didn't recognize her at first because like in Little Shop she's got that big blonde wig, and
Yeah. Right. It took me a
and
minute.
yeah, and this I'm assuming that's her real hair, but yeah, I was like she looks kind of like Mary Gross, but I know that's not Mary Gross, but she seems
Yeah.
familiar, and then I checked the credits and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I was like, that's kind of Shelley Duvall, but not really.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, not bad. Then we also get like a little appearance from Jersey's own the amazing Kreskin talking because like then they go into that little section of the
yeah,
special where they talk about his superpowers, like what can he do, like super
yeah.
strength, X-ray vision, the heat breath. He can understand
Super breath and heat vision.
super breath and heat vision. Oh, is that how it goes?
Yeah,
What
no,
is
he doesn't have. As far as I know, he does not have heat breath.
he doesn't
But
have heat breath? All right, well,
well, he's cooled things down with his super breath. I know, but you know, but yeah, I can't recall him ever like warming anything up with his super breath.
well, he can always try.
So Well, yeah,
I
maybe, even Superman has to have limitations.
I
So,
guess so. Yeah, he understands German. He can
hmm
he can fly, and they show that montage of him flying.
hmm
And yeah, and they talk to Kreskin saying like how Superman uses his powers to help save people, and I use my powers to entertain people and get paid.
yeah, yeah.
So I was
I
like, all
mean,
right.
Kreskin is one of. There are so many random celebrities in this thing. You're just like, wait, why is this person in this?
Yeah, when Lou Reed pops up, I was like, what the fuck is Lou Reed doing here?
Lou Reed, Jimmy Breslin. I mean, I guess because of the journalism connection. Uh,
Yeah,
Hal Holbrook.
the Hal Holbrook, Marcia Gay Harden pops up for a little bit here.
A young unknown Marcia Gay Harden pops up when she's,
Yeah,
I'm assuming, just a struggling actress. And
yeah,
it's,
she just goes as Marcia Harden, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, yeah. Carol Leifer is in this thing. Paul Dooley.
Yeah, just like the most random of randoms.
Peter Boyle shows up towards the end.
Yeah, I was like, what? All right, I guess.
I would love like just like an oral history of just how everybody in this ended up in this.
Just
Because it was like, was it just like the people that Lauren called who were home that day? Is it the people who were in town when they were shooting?
Peter, hello. How are you? Are you busy? Do you have an hour free?
Yeah, it's just, it's so weirdly random. Um, but I like. I like that they showed a lot of clips from the Fleischer cartoons, which was nice.
Yes, those are cool. Yeah.
Yeah, those are always worth seeing. And I mean, since this was made in '88, there weren't as many live action depictions. We really just had the serials, the George Reeves series from the '50s, and then the Christopher Reeve movies, and
Mm.
that was about it. And they really just mostly showed clips from the first one.
Yeah, very
Um,
much so.
and I mean, there's no Lois and Clark yet. There's no Smallville. There's
No.
certainly no Henry Cavill Snyderverse thing. There's no Superman and Lois. None of that. We didn't even have that syndicated Superboy show yet.
Wow.
So
This predates all of that.
yeah, I don't think there were any clips from Super Friends. Now that I think of it,
Oh yeah,
that's
that would have been around.
yeah. That they. I wonder if they just couldn't
Hmm.
clear those or what, because that usually aired on ABC. So,
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, makes sense.
but
Uh,
we're also talking to random people on the street about like what they think about Superman. Some people are talking about how cute he is.
oh
You
yeah.
know, and yeah, and there's a thing where like they're talking to a couple, and the woman is saying like, "Oh yeah, my boyfriend got sick, and right before our senior prom, so he couldn't go with me. His dad called me, and then." Just a little while later, Superman rang the doorbell and said he'd be happy to take me to prom.
Yeah,
And
I was like, how did Superman hear about this?
I don't know. It's like I think she said something like, "Oh, I think my boyfriend's dad called him," but it was like, is that an explanation? I don't know.
My
And they also have the boyfriend or I guess her husband now, and he's still like kind of subtly jealous of this. He's not really over it, obviously.
just cuckolded beyond his
Yeah,
belief.
he's just big old cuck there,
There you
and he's
go.
just quietly seething while she's talking about how wonderful Superman is. And they have a little doctored photo of like George Reeves, and they like put Marcia Gay Harden's face over Lois Lane's.
That's right. And
Um,
that guy has to look at that picture every day.
yeah,
Son of a bitch.
and yeah, and then we have Lou Reed, and they're just talking to him on the street. He's standing by the Superman mural on a wall. And he's like, "Yeah, I liked him when he was more subtle." It's like Lou Reed's calling Superman a sellout, basically.
Now he's all flashy, more into the spectacle. I mean, what is that?
Yeah. I'm just like, I want like 20 minutes on why and how Lou Reed ended up in this thing.
that that's that really just boggled because it's Lou Reed. I thought he'd be
Yeah.
what?
The Velvet Underground guy.
He's like the epitome of cool. Like why is he
Yeah.
what?
It's so odd. It's like, oh, who should we have talk about Superman in this primetime network TV special. How about Lurie? How about the guy who wrote a song called Heroin? How about the guy who did Dirty Boulevard? Yeah, let's hear what he has to say about the Man of Steel.
Hey Lou, do you want to get on this and talk about Superman?
He's like, yeah, I've been waiting for it my whole life, man.
It's the role I was born to play, baby. All right.
And we also have Hal Holbrook, and the conceit with him is he's doing a one-man show about Superman, kind of the way that Hal Holbrook did a one-man show about Mark Twain.
Right.
You know, he's sitting backstage in a Superman outfit.
Yeah. Looks good on him.
Know, and but it's very strange because Hal Holbrook's got to be in like his 50s or 60s by this point.
Right.
And he's talking about how he has to convey all these superpowers with just like, a tilt of his eyebrow or whatever. It's kind of amusing.
Yeah, there's a lot of like all these little kind of like they're not even vignettes, but they're like it's literally like a minute or two from each person. They just kind of go by kind of quickly. Yeah, the jokes are amusing enough, but none of them really hit that. There was one I thought hit.
It's not a terribly funny special, honestly.
No, there was one part I thought was had some good jokes in it. That
okay,
but we'll get there.
Oh, we haven't gotten there yet. Okay,
we have not gotten there yet.
Yeah, like even Hal Holbrook, they're just talking to him. It's just a steady shot of him sitting backstage in a dressing room, and they don't have like cutaways to him on stage performing as Superman or anything like that. That might have been a little more amusing.
I'm surprised they didn't do that. Make it a little bit more like Waiting for Guffman or something, where you see him kind of perform it. You just hear him talk about performing it.
But I feel like it's probably a very low budget sort of thing. They got who they could get, and
like you want him to perform on a stage. We don't have that's not in the budget.
Yeah.
Just have him sit in this folding chair.
We've got room for like 5 feet a set.
Just put him in front of this.
We got a chair and a mirror.
Yes. Sit him down, have him talk. It's a wrap. Done.
Yeah.
Done in time for lunch.
They also have clips of some of the people who've been in various Superman media over the years. There's a clip from an interview with Christopher Reeve, which I feel like is repurposed from elsewhere. I think it was one of his interviews for Superman 4.
Yeah. They had that one interview with Kirk Allen. I thought
Kirk Allen, cool. Yeah. Who was a serial Superman from 1948 and 1950. He was like, yeah, that was like my favorite part ever. And he played as Superman like he's like the sort of a cocky golden age Superman who'd get in there and mix it up, and they show clips of him and he's like taking henchmen and just like bonking their heads together like coconuts.
Clunk.
And he's just got this big grin on his face. He just loves beating up thugs.
Take that concussion, bad guy.
Let's see. They talked to this character called Morton Simon. I'm not sure who played him. He identifies himself as Superman's dry cleaner.
Oh yeah, John Randolph.
Okay.
I looked it up.
And
they also, because like at this part, this is where we talk about Clark Kent, his secret identity, and they showed this clip from, I'm not sure if it was a TV show or a movie, but it was like a man asking a woman about Superman's identity, and the woman saying, "I don't know what it is."
So this is a very famous episode of the George Reeves show from the 50s called "The Stolen Costume."
Wow, I knew you'd know this.
Yeah, it's a very famous episode. I'm going to take a quick digression because I got to tell you about this episode because it's just so wonderfully bonkers insane.
Okay, go for it. Take it.
So like this crook, this second story man breaks into Clark Kent's apartment when Clark Kent's not there, and he finds the hidden closet where he keeps his Superman costume.
Okay.
And he gets away with it. And I think he's killed by the cops or something, but before he dies, he goes over to like a criminal friend of his, and he gives him the Superman costume. Okay. And so this guy and his girlfriend, they've got what they know is Superman's costume, and they like test it out. They're like, hey, it doesn't cut, it doesn't burn, this is the real thing. And they're like, oh, there's this, and I think they figure out that it came from Clark Kent's apartment.
Okay.
And so they try to blackmail him. I think they send like Clark Kent a note at the Daily Planet saying like, "Hey, Superman, we have your costume." And meanwhile, Clark Kent's like kind of beside himself because I guess he only has the one.
Yeah.
The
No
Kryptonian
duplicates.
blankets is tough to come by.
Yeah.
And I think he's talking to a private detective friend of his. He's like, "I need you to find this thing that was like stolen from my apartment, but I can't tell you what it is."
I'm on the case.
Yeah. But anyway, okay. So the way this episode ends is the most bonkers thing. Okay, so eventually Superman catches up to him, but they still know his secret identity.
Mm-hmm.
So what he does is he takes them and he's like, I'm taking you to this deserted mountaintop. You're gonna like live in this cabin here, away from civilization. I'm dropping you off here right now. I'm gonna come back with like some food and supplies for you. Don't go anywhere. Don't try anything tricky. And then like literally seconds after Superman flies off, they try to climb down from the mountain and they both fall to their deaths.
Ah.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
So I mean, they die to their own devices, and Superman says like, "Hey, don't try anything," but it still plays like, oh, Superman just kind of set them up to die.
Yeah, it's like he didn't kill him, but he kind of
Yeah,
laid down the foundation for
yeah.
them to die.
So I was kind of amused to see clips from that episode. That's a very famous or maybe infamous episode of the George Reeves show.
Yeah, just because like when I saw the clip, it was like the man asking the woman about Superman's identity.
Yeah.
He said he doesn't know. Then the guy goes and says, "Could it be that he hides behind the darkest disguise of all? Could it be a woman?" I was
Yeah,
like, "What
that's
the
an earlier.
fuck?"
Yeah, that's an earlier episode where like Lois Lane's being hypnotized. I don't remember that episode, but it was a first season episode because it was Phyllis Coates as Lois Lane. But I'm like, wait, Superman's actually a woman? That's wild. Okay,
The darkest disguise of all. I was like, "Wow."
it was
Whoa.
the 1950s. The misogyny's baked in, I guess.
You know how these bitches are. Like, whoa.
I mean, just
Jesus.
the darkest disguise of all.
He said the darkest disguise of all. I was like,
yeah.
Wow. So one of the writers had problems with his wife that night. It sounds like.
I don't know what's going on. I'd like to see that episode in context.
Yeah, I hope like the head writer read that and was like, "Hey, Tommy, is everything okay at home? I got your
yeah. We can get you help. We have a therapist on staff if you need to talk.
You don't have to suffer in silence, man. It's okay."
Yeah. And we also at this point we're talking to Jimmy Breslin, the famous newspaper columnist, and he at one point is like talking about Jimmy Olsen's. He's given Perry White credit, and he's like, he's got a very lean staff for the Daily Planet. He's got like 3 reporters, and then all those other people who actually put the paper out. That was cute.
Yeah, that was kind of funny.
And then he's reading like an article that Jimmy Olsen wrote, and it's like, "Jeepers! I hope somebody does something about this deficit, because golly gee." And I'm like, okay, that's cute.
Yeah. It's like Leave the Beaver wrote it.
Yeah, and I really and then they cut to a clip of Jimmy Olsen from the first Superman movie where like Mark McClure is going like, "Gee, Miss Lane, how do you get all those great stories?" So, and I also liked how he said that Lois Lane operates on the snoop and scoop principle, where she just like snoops around to find something. She gets kidnapped or she gets in trouble. Superman rescues her, and then she writes up the story. And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. And I did like how they cut to the rooftop scene from Richard Donner's Superman.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, and you've got me. Who's got you? Yeah,
yeah. And I did like also how they talked to. You mentioned Paul Dooley was in this. He plays John Buxton, who's the editor at the other newspaper in Metropolis, and
the Metropolis Proclaimer.
Yeah, and he's like, the Daily Planet, they have all those predictable Superman stories, but we have Garfield and Jumble.
Yeah.
I was like, it's been a while since I've done a good Jumble. Jeez.
Yeah, that was cute. Yeah, I mean, again, they could have done a little more with it, but it was a cute idea.
Cute enough.
I think in the comics that there is a rival paper, Metropolis. I want to say it's like the Metropolis Examiner, but I may be wrong on that. It's been a long time since they've done that. But yeah, usually they do just talk about the Daily Planet.
Yeah, that seemed like
Yeah.
they're the only game in town as far as newspapers go.
Yeah, yeah. They had a clip in there from like the Kirk Allen serial where like Clark Kent's just arrived in Metropolis. He's got a suitcase under each arm, and he goes to a cab driver, and he's like, "Hey, can you take me to a great metropolitan newspaper?" And the cab driver's like, "The Daily Planet's our best and brightest," and he's like, "Oh, that'll do me fine." And then he just goes and gets a job at the Daily Planet, and
Just like
it,
it was just that easy back in the day.
it's just that easy, you know. It was 1948. You know, people didn't know shit.
I'd like to be a reporter, sir.
All
Well,
right, son.
you
Here
have
you
a
are.
you have a
Here's your
resume?
regular beat.
No resume,
You'll
you
come
say?
on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Well, gee golly, thank you, sir. I won't let you down.
And then they kind of segue from this into discussion about Lois Lane and her romance with Superman.
Mm-hmm.
We see Carol Leifer. She's playing Beth Lewis, who's identified as Lois's best friend, and they're kind of talking about whether Superman's ever going to make a commitment to her. And we see Noelle Neal as Ella Lane, Lois's mother.
Right, right, and she tells that she's been telling her daughter Lois that she should be lowering her standards. She's tried to set her up with other men, but it's
Yeah.
always ends up, well, is he bulletproof? Can he break through walls? Does he understand
Yeah.
German? And
Yeah.
then they also talk about the other women in Superman's life, but they don't. I mean, I guess because like the other women, like Lana Lang and whatnot, like they haven't really been featured in the TV shows and movies quite a lot to
Yeah,
get this
I
kind
mean,
of show.
what's her face from Smallville? She played Lana in Superman 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Annette O'Toole.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah, and I should also mention, like, Noelle Neal playing Lois Lane's mother. She also had cameos in a lot of other productions of Superman. She got to play Lois's mother on Lois and Clark, and she appeared on the TV show Superboy and other stuff. And she played the older woman that Lex Luthor seduced in Superman Returns.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my.
So yeah, that's a neat thing that they do, is they usually give some of the previous actors cameos. And she had a cameo in Superman the movie, which was cut out,
nice.
where she and Kirk Allen played Lois Lane's parents.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had, like, you remember the scene where Clark Kent is racing the train?
Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah,
and they what is that like? Wow, they're like, it's been a long time since you've seen Superman the movie. What is that like?
It's fine.
That sounds like such a sad world to me.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a while. Maybe
Okay.
I didn't mean to make this revelation right here, right now. But
I literally watch the film at least once a year. So
okay. No, it's been a minute since I've seen it. I guess maybe I should watch it again. But yeah, it's been.
Yeah, that just sounds like such a sad world to me. I mean, I'm not mad. I just feel for you, man.
Thank you. I somehow find the strength to carry on.
But anyway, like, Clark Kent's racing the train, and they had like a little girl who like looks out the window and sees him, and then he like kind of waves at her. And originally that scene was a little longer, where she's like, "Mommy, Daddy, I saw a guy and he was racing the train," and the mom goes, "Lois Lane, you have a reporter's gift for imagination." And then
wow.
and then like her dad goes like, "Lois, please read your book." And she's like, someday somebody will believe me.
Wow. That's the movie giving the biggest wink to the audience.
Yeah. So they that was an extended scene that they cut out, but you can see it in the extended cuts. But
oh, nice. Okay.
But yeah, so they're talking about, like, there are dozens of women who have tried to take Superman away from all this. And at first I was like, oh, are they going to like mention something from the comics, like Lori Lamaris or something like that? You probably don't know about Lori Lamaris, I'm assuming.
No, that's
okay.
No.
Lori Lamaris was Superman's college girlfriend. And she was in a wheelchair, and Clark Kent like fell in love with her, and he was like, I love you, I want to marry you, but before we're together, I have to tell you this about me. And she's like, hey, I know all about your superpowers, and stuff like that, but you can never ask me how I know. And
Okay.
yeah, and then he gets a little suspicious, and he follows her, and then he discovers that the reason she's in a wheelchair is she is actually a mermaid.
What?
Yeah. Um,
But she. Okay.
she's a mermaid. Yeah. And
Like,
she's like from Atlantis, and she's like she like enrolled in the university to try and find what happened to all her Atlantean ancestors and stuff.
I did not see that twist coming. Wow.
No, well, it's the Silver Age. The Silver Age is quite often insane. Um, it's just random, but it is like a very famous and kind of touching story because she's like, yeah, we can never be together because we are literally from two different worlds. I'm from Atlantis, you're from Krypton. It's like women are from Mars, men are from Venus, or vice versa.
Wow, that is
yeah. So I was all hyped for a Lori Lamaris mention, but then
so Lori Lamaris, Lana Lang, Lois Lane,
Lex Luthor, yeah.
Why so many L names?
The double L thing, it started out as like I think just a coincidence, and then like somebody noticed the pattern and they started writing to it. So yeah.
Okay.
There was like this there was once like I think a story where Superman time travels back to Krypton before it exploded, and he falls in love with an actress on Krypton.
Okay.
And her name was another L name, and I'm blanking on it now.
Double L. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's something they've done a lot. They've done a lot of the double L names. It's just a thing that they do.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. The more I'm learning about this, the more fascinated I am.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, particularly when you get into Silver Age Superman stuff, it is insane in the best way. It is charming in its insanity because they're writing for very young kids. So
okay, love it.
Lots of random shit happens.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But yeah, like also in the scene, they show the scene from Donner's Superman where Eve
Tessmacher, yeah,
kisses Superman.
Yeah.
And then they.
Why can't I ever get it on with the good guys? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Eve.
And you remember where her mother lived? Where the other nuclear missile was going?
No. Where is
Hackensack, New Jersey, baby.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh shit. Jersey strong. Look at that. Look at
New Jersey and Superman the movie. That's right.
Wow. New York City could never.
No.
That's right. Yeah. Take that, Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah.
I just chose a random city. I don't know why.
I'm sure they just chose Hackensack because it's a funny sounding name.
It is. We need the house out there.
Oh, all you get for your money?
Yeah. I'm moving out.
But we also, when they're talking about Superman's girlfriends, we have Jan Hooks, who's a woman named Brenda Wilkes, who lives in a trailer park with her son Junior, who she insists is Superman's love child.
Right. So he's like half Superman, half her. So you see the kid and he's just kind of, the kid has no lines, just kind of disinterested and kind of stares at the ground.
Very sullen looking kid, yeah.
Very sullen. But Jan Hooks always does some great character work. Talks about how the kid has X-ray vision, but only in the one eye.
Right.
And
so it gives him these bad headaches. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad headache. And she says, the first time I saw him, he looked different than I thought. When I saw Superman, he had highlights in his hair. He looked like Sergio Franchi, the Italian singer. I was like, who is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
I looked it up. And,
is that a real dude?
It is a real dude. He's passed away. But Sergio Franchi was this famous Italian singer. He was on Ed Sullivan and he played Carnegie Hall, apparently.
Okay. Does he look anything like Superman?
Kinda.
Okay.
Kinda.
You're going to have to look this guy up.
Yeah, if you want. No big deal. But yes,
Sergio Franchi. And she's saying to her kid, she's like, Junior, lift the Chevy Nova, lift the Nova, lift the Nova.
Yeah, and the kid's just not doing it.
Yeah. So, we got that thing. It doesn't really go much of anywhere, but
no, it really doesn't.
We Jan Hook's got a day's work, so
yeah, Hook's got a paycheck.
Yeah. And then they talk about his other superhero imitators,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He
And
showed.
what a random sampling of superheroes that they pick.
I'm assuming it's all the stuff they could clear.
Yeah, it's
It was that random.
probably they show a clip from Underdog. They show Captain Marvel, who they also use footage from his movie Serial, which was made in like 41, so before Superman.
Right.
And actually, if you look back at the Krypton scenes that they showed at the beginning, the one of the Kryptonians is wearing Captain Marvel's costume
Oh,
from that
really?
Serial. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So they recycled the costumes.
Huh.
They also show Commando Cody, Mighty Mouse, and Super Pup.
The last one I've never heard of.
It was this is so bizarre. So like after the George Reeves show ended, they did a pilot, I think, called Super Pup, which
Okay.
was we have the entire cast was midgets in dog costumes.
Oh.
So yeah, so we put a big dog head on a little person, and he's in a Superman suit, and he was Bark Kent, I think, and they all had
Oh.
like the cutesy pet pun names, and it was shot on the same sets as the George Reeves show, so like the Daily Planet set and all that, and yeah, and amazingly, it didn't sell.
What?
I've never watched this. I've only seen photos and like brief clips from it, but
Okay.
it is insane.
A lot of insane shit happened in the 30s and 40s, I'm learning.
Yeah, yeah. I
Men,
don't.
men being placed on top of mountains and falling to their deaths.
Yeah, yeah,
Little people in dog costumes. My God.
yeah, yeah. It's nuts. It's wild.
Wheelchair bound mermaids. I mean, my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Human
It's all
sacrifice
true.
dogs.
I'm not making any of this up.
Human sacrifice dogs and cats living together in mass hysteria.
Hmm.
Oh
And
boy.
we
But
also have Franken and Davis showing
yeah.
up as the awesome pair, which is a pair of superheroes. So, if you've ever wanted to see Al Franken and Tom Davis in spandex, your wish has been granted.
Yes. See, now this part I kind of liked because
Hmm.
they talk about how the two of them work as a duo, and
Hmm.
Franken talks about how he has all the superpowers, super strength,
Right.
and heat
X-ray
vision,
vision.
X-ray
Yeah.
vision. Yeah,
Yeah.
but he can fly, but he can't
Right.
fly.
Right.
But Davis can fly, and that's all he can do.
Right.
So
So
they
he
have
he
to.
does like reconnaissance, basically.
Yeah. So basically, he flies into where the trouble is, scopes out the situation, then
Right.
flies to where where Franken is, tells him everything, and then the two of them go and take care of the problem. But
Right.
Davis can't carry Franken.
Right.
Not yet. But he's working on it. He's like lifting.
He's working to build up his strength so he could
Yeah.
carry. Yeah.
That's pretty funny. All right.
So it's a cute idea. It doesn't have much of anything to do with Superman, but it was
Well,
cutish.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, that's something. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like two superheroes that have to work together because like one of them has powers that the other one
Hmm.
doesn't. I was like, all right, we're
Yeah.
cooking now.
I could see making a decent sketch out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
They also show a clip of the famous "I Love Lucy" episode that George Reeves guest starred on, where
I'll
they're trying to
say
where they're trying to get Superman to appear at Little Ricky's birthday party,
right.
and then it looks like he's not going to be able to show up, so Lucy puts on a Superman outfit and she climbs out the window and she gets stuck outside in a rainstorm, and so Superman has to rescue her by going outside and the big punchline at the end is like Ricky's like, Lucy, in the 15 years we've been married. And he's like, hang on, Ricardo, you've been married to her for 15 years? Yeah, 15 years. And they call me Superman. Women are dumb.
It's funny because she's insufferable. Da, 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 da.
Yeah. But yeah, the neat thing about that episode is they never say that, like, they never call George Reeves by name, and they never say that he's like an actor playing Superman. They always just refer to him as Superman. So like any young kids who are watching who still believed in Superman, they could just watch it and think, oh yeah, that's the real Superman.
Wow. Yeah, I remember hearing about that, like how it was very important to Reeves that they never kind of sort of break the illusion of who
Mm-hmm.
George Reeves was and who Superman was, just because they didn't want to mess the kids' minds up. Which I find that pretty commendable.
Yeah, yeah. I like that he took the role and the responsibility that seriously.
With great
Um,
power
yeah,
comes great
yeah.
responsibility.
I mean, because it is a, it might sound silly, but it is an important thing. I think, because a lot of people look up to the character of Superman, and he means a lot to a lot of people. So I think, yeah, you do when you're playing the role, you do have to comport yourself in a certain way.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So then we also get a nice little interview with Jack Larson, the OG
Hmm.
Jimmy Olsen, and then they go into this montage of Superman taking out bad guys, and we get into a little bit of Superman's, his rogues gallery of villains, but not
Yeah.
really that, because there's only one main villain that they really focus
Yeah,
on here.
I mean, they have a little thing with like some retired thugs at Martin's bar, and they're just talking about like, yeah, I don't know why we always shot the guy. We knew it wasn't going to do any good, but there's something about that big S. You just want to shoot at it, and then
So inviting.
yeah, and they show a montage of just the various versions of Superman with the bullets bouncing off his chest.
Right,
Um,
right. Then they also talk about some of his other big bads, like the Mad Scientist and Atom
mhm.
Man, the Spider
the,
Lady,
the Spider Lady, who's from the first Superman serial. Yeah,
Ross Webster.
that was the character that Robert Vaughn played in Superman 3, where he
Mm.
has the hilarious line when he's on the phone to Richard Pryor. He says, I ask you to kill Superman, and you're telling me you can't even do that one simple little thing. I don't like that movie much, but that line is undeniably hilarious.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't even know if I've seen that one. I just remember.
You're
I
not
just know.
missing much.
Yeah, I just know how notoriously, like, I just know the how that movie is kind of maligned by a lot of
Yeah.
people, saying it's yeah. And then there's
It's so weird because it's Superman, but it's half a Richard Pryor movie.
yeah, I
But
get. I'm sure
but
there's
it's
like a
like
yeah. I'm sure
a
there's like
PG Richard Pryor movie, so it's like what the hell's the point?
yeah. You're not even going all the way with Richard Pryor, like so.
Yeah.
It's like a neutered Richard. So what's the point of
Yeah,
yeah?
and
That makes
he's
sense.
he's
Yeah.
like this computer programmer guy who's like this savant with computers, and Robert Vaughn plays this multimillionaire guy who realizes like, oh, he's really good with computers. I'm gonna have him do my dastardly evil deeds, and
Mm.
they end up building a supercomputer that's fighting Superman by the end of the movie,
Okay.
and they create some artificial kryptonite that because like an element of it is unknown when they analyze it.
Right.
Um, he they don't know what to put in there, so Gus Gorman, that's Richard Pryor's character, he just puts in tar because he's smoking some cigarettes and he looks at his pack of cigarettes and he just writes in tar.
That's
And
the
they
ticket.
present this artificial kryptonite to Superman, and it doesn't kill him like they expect. It turns him evil, and that's when
Oh.
you've probably seen like the gifs and stuff of Superman in the dirty costume, and he's like drinking at a bar, and
Yes, I had that. I've seen. I remember that gift.
yeah, and he's unshaven, and he's doing these horrible evil things like straightening out the Leaning Tower of Pisa and
Oh
blowing out
no!
the Olympic torch, and sleeping with Pamela Stevenson
Oh
from
my!
who was a regular on SNL for a season, or a
Heyo!
couple seasons. Yeah, she plays Ross Webster's girlfriend, and her thing is she pretends to be a bimbo, but she's secretly like really smart.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's a scene where she's like reading some philosophical book, and she's like, you know, analyzing this very intellectually, and then like Ross Webster comes back in, and she's like, "Hi, honey."
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, so she's like just pretending to be a bimbo to, I don't know, she's a gold digger or something. I don't know.
Yeah, playing for a sucker.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying she's a gold digger. I'm just saying she does not date any poor men of certain descents.
Yes, she don't want no
Yeah.
scrubs.
Right. Right.
Oh wow,
So
but
that
yeah,
was Ross Webster.
okay. And then they also talk to the Brainwave, who's a mastermind played by Robert Smigel. I'm assuming Brainwave is that a real Superman character or is that something just
Yes,
made up? It is.
he wasn't. He is a real comic book villain.
Ah,
from the Golden Age, from the 1940s. He was more of like a villain for the Justice Society. I don't remember him ever fighting Superman solo. I feel like the people doing the special, they were just flipping through a copy of Who's Who, which was DC's handbook of all their characters, and somebody came across Brainwave, and maybe they liked the look of him, or maybe they were just like, "Hey, we could do him cheaply because we just need to build a big head in makeup, get some glasses, and get a green robe," and that's literally like his whole look.
that's really it. He kind of looks like Dilbert from the cartoons. Like
Kind
you
of,
can't
yeah, yeah,
like you can't see his eyes and his head's all
yeah.
big. Uh,
Um, I think the brainwave stuff was kind of amusing. Yeah.
yeah. He talks about how like he has no reason to leave Metropolis because of Superman. My roots are here, my friends and family.
Hmm.
Talks about how a lot of evil geniuses lack patience. They want to take over the world ASAP, but they don't want to put in the work. They need to start small, take over the neighbor, the wife.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
folks want to rule the world, but can't even control their own kids.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cute.
Yeah. There's some funny stuff there for sure.
Um, and then they of course talk about Lex Luthor, who was the big Superman's biggest villain, and
Mm,
also conveniently for the purposes of special, he'd been represented a few times in live action. They
yes,
show
Hackman.
him. They show Gene Hackman from the movies, and they show Lyle Talbot, who
Mm.
played him in the second Superman serial, Adam Man versus Superman. Like, spoiler alert: Adam Man secretly Lex Luthor. Um,
What?
yeah,
I was just about to.
I know. I've ruined
Wow,
it for you.
ruined my night.
Um,
Ruined my
and
night.
here's an interesting tidbit. Lyle Talbot was also in a few Ed Wood movies. He's in Plane 9 from Outer Space.
Oh, nice.
And he also played Commissioner Gordon in, I think it was the second Batman serial. So he played
Hey,
both Luthor and Commissioner Gordon. That's kind of neat.
that is pretty neat. Look at that.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow,
That's versatility, buddy.
yeah, he play the bad guys and the good.
Yeah. And they talk a little about Lex Luthor's origin, which I told you about during last week's show.
Yes. Yes. As soon as I heard Hal Holbrook talk about that, I was like, "Hey, I know that. John told
Yeah.
me that."
I just heard that story from John the other day. He wasn't making that shit up. Yay.
He wasn't just pulling it out of his ass.
Yeah. I know it sounded like it, but
But no, apparently not.
yeah, but no, you accidentally make somebody go bald, you get an enemy for life. That's how it works.
That's how it works. You take away a man's hair, we are I hate you forever.
Yep, enemies for life.
Hmm. I mean, I also liked how they talk about how Superman's limitations, like
Yeah,
how he can't see through lead,
right,
which is a big limitation of it. And then they cut to this other little bit about the lead-lined shop, a store
right,
for criminals and masterminds that sell lead-lined things. And the owner, this is where Peter Boyle comes in. He's the owner, James Jimmy Malone. And
right.
we see Bruce McCullough behind the register.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Somebody on the YouTube comments pointed that out, and I was like, "Oh, hey, I missed him, but there he is." Yeah,
Yeah. Like he has no lines. He's just like working there.
he's just there. He's just an extra. Yeah,
Yeah, and I do like how Peter Boyle is talking about like, hey, I know what you're thinking. We're just shopping to a certain clientele, but we have a sign up there saying, "Warning: It is illegal to use these products for the purpose of evil." So
yeah,
we're covered. So we're covered.
yeah, yeah.
It's basically like when you go into a tobacco shop and you see the bongs, and they have to say, "Hey, don't use this for weed. Use
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah,
use this for tobacco use."
that's right. For tobacco use only. Yeah. So
Wink.
this is for non-killing Superman purposes only.
Hmm.
Um, that was yeah, that was a cute idea. I don't, they didn't do a whole lot with it. It was just kind of like they presented the concept and that was about it.
Yeah,
Um,
that's kind of how a lot of these little vignettes, again, not even vignettes, but they just like kind
yeah,
of present the idea, tell a quick joke or two, and then go on right to the next thing.
yeah, yeah.
Like they had that
So,
other thing where they go back to the awesome pair and
uh
how
huh,
Franken and Davis and how they have this scared straight program
uh
to
huh.
help out kids before they turn into evil masterminds, and it shows them kind of trying to reach this kids and basically them screaming at the kids about like going about not going to jail and staying on the straight and
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
narrow. and I think that's where Davis is, or Franken is like, well, look, it's jarring, but it's the only way. And then Davis is
Yeah.
like, well, maybe it's not the only way, but it's the first idea we had. So
Yeah. And your first idea is usually your best idea.
yeah. So yeah. So we
So,
scream at kids.
and we have again another random guest star, Ralph Nader.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What is Ralph Nader? And he talks about how, know your kryptonite, and he talks about the different types of kryptonite. There's gold kryptonite, which removes Superman's powers, like
See,
permanently. Yeah.
yeah. See, now in the last episode we did, you said there was no such thing as yellow kryptonite.
Well,
Was it
they've
yellow?
never called it yellow kryptonite. It is gold kryptonite.
Okay, I see. All right.
So
So that's on them.
yeah, that's on them. That's on them. And I don't think they were talking about gold kryptonite because there was no reference to Superman losing his powers. It sounded like he just suddenly became cowardly. So I stand by what I said last week.
Stand on business, King.
Yeah, yeah. And gold kryptonite is a thing they've only used it very limited because it is the gold kryptonite thing is it removes a Kryptonian's powers permanently.
Wow.
And they did that with like one of the Phantom Zone villains in the comics.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's green kryptonite. That's the classic kryptonite, which makes you feel weak and die.
Right.
And then there's red kryptonite, which was always fun because it was unpredictable.
Ooh.
It would affect Superman in a different way each time. So he'd be duplicated, or he'd have an ant head, or
oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, any wild thing that the writers thought of could happen to him with red kryptonite.
It's a wild card, baby.
It's a wild card. Yeah, it's nuts.
You don't know what's gonna happen, but yeah, just to see Ralph Nader pop in, I was like,
yeah, so random. Who's the most random person in this thing? You think the Amazing Kreskin, Ralph Nader, Jimmy Breslin, Lou Reed?
I mean, it's too many options. It's probably. I mean, Jimmy Breslin, you can kind of see because they're talking about the Daily Planet.
The journalism connection. Yeah.
And Kreskin is like, all right, he's a magician that's kind of like having superpowers. So
that's a stretch. Yeah,
I'm stretch. I know. I'm Reed Richardsing it here. I know it's a stretch, but I'll go with it. But yeah, Lou Reed and Ralph Nader, they have no business being in this thing at all. I'm sorry.
It's so odd. It's so odd.
I'm sorry.
I'm not really begrudging them being in it, but it's just weird.
It's quite bizarre.
How
bizarre.
And then we actually get a little bit in there about the comics. We talked to John Byrne, who at the time of this special was the writer and artist, the main writer and artist on Superman. He was doing Superman and Action Comics at the time. He took over the books in '86. He was the guy I was telling you about last week when they kind of revamped the Superman continuity.
Right.
Like suddenly Ma and Pa Kent were alive in the present day.
Oh wow.
He made other changes. That's when Lex Luthor went from like a mad scientist to a businessman guy.
Okay.
Those were two of the bigger changes. And and he talked a little bit. We didn't. He's in it for like 30 seconds.
Okay.
If I have a big complaint about this thing, it's my typical complaint about like TV specials about comic book characters is they usually emphasize the outside media to the exclusion of the comics, because I think it's a lot more exciting to like cut to clips. Shows that the audience might remember than like show still panels or talk about what happened in this comic book that most people have never read.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I would like, that's actually a fair point. I didn't even think about that, but it's sort of the same thing they kind of do in the movies, the DC movies and Marvel movies today, where they give a subtle nod to like the creators that actually, wrote and drew all these amazing comics that all this art is based off of. But it's not really.
Yeah,
it's a subtlest of nods. Like I kind of wish they were more in the spotlight to be like, because of these, because of these amazing artists and writers, we have all of this. Like there would be no this without them. And
and I'm very used to it, but it does, get to me a little bit because it's like, well, it is a comic book first and foremost, people.
Yes, absolutely.
So but it was nice that John Byrne was on there for even like 30 seconds. Um,
Yeah, very true.
and it was a fun novelty because he doesn't do much in the way of interviews anymore. He's basically retired now.
Okay.
And let's see.
Well, then they talk to. Then we see Dana Carvey again talking about
Uh-huh.
Superman the man. Then we get like a nice
Mm-hmm.
little montage of kids talking about what they think Superman is. One little girl
Yeah.
says that Superman has many girlfriends and can play the guitar.
Yeah.
Which,
That was cute. It's cute to hear like really young kids talking about Superman because he's real to them, you know.
yeah, kids say the
Yeah.
darndest things.
Yeah.
And
And
then
they're
we
all
get
in their like little Superman T-shirts. So
yeah,
that's
little
cute.
cape and shirt. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that's adorable. Then we get the segment of talking about Superman's parents, his birth parents and
Mm-hmm.
his regular parents. So we show a little bit of Smallville, Mom, Pa Kent.
Mm-hmm.
Then we go into the Fortress of Solitude with Jor-El. Then you see
Yeah.
those scenes of Marlon Brando from the Donner film.
Right. Although you've been raised as a human, you are not one of them. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, we don't get too deep into his
Yeah,
background.
and they have a clip from the pilot of the George Reeves show where it's like young Clark Kent, and he's like, "Gee, Ma, why am I different from all the other little boys, and why can I do all this stuff that they can't?" And he looks like a young little greaser. He's in like a leather coat. I think he's got like kind of slick back hair,
Yeah,
and it's like, you look like you're gonna go fight the sharks or something.
yeah. Are you in Shana now? Why are you dressed like that?
It's just really weird. It's like, why does Superman look like Fonzie?
Oh Ma, what's up with these powers I got? Hey.
um,
But
but they get into that a little bit.
little bit, and then they cut to the big star-studded event, the Superman 50th anniversary. We
Yeah,
see Brian Doyle Murray
right.
being a reporter on the scene, and it's like rolling out the red carpet. We see
Mm-hmm.
the limousines pull up. I wasn't sure. I didn't know. I guess it was like some big event that they're having. I don't know if they were showing a movie or what it was, but it was like basically
It's
it looks.
vague in the special. It's just kind of like this is our big Superman anniversary thing,
Yay!
and
It's our
and it's like
thing.
the red carpet, and we see Jan Hooks has a brief cameo again. She's there with her son, and she's like, "Hey, make sure that Superman gets these marshmallow treats because he really likes those."
Right. Then
And
we see Brainwave is there.
yeah,
He has.
he's like, "Yeah, I've got a plan. I can't really say what it is, but it involves zapping."
I was like, all right, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, he was probably the funniest part of the special for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Then we out of a limo we see the Flash coming out with his date Ava.
yeah, they say a supermodel Ava. Honestly, I was impressed with the costume that they had for the Flash here.
Mm,
Um, it looked pretty good considering what the time and budget limitations must have been. I
yeah.
was like, it didn't look as silly as like Dan Aykroyd or Adam Sandler's costumes from the sketches we watched last week, and it definitely wasn't the same outfit. It looked like it was made new for this thing. So I was like, that's a pretty good Flash costume for 1988, man.
Yeah, no, it looked pretty good. It looked good.
Yeah.
Then we see Ariel Dickinson, the curator from the museum, coming out
Mm-hmm.
there with her date, the Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. The Green Lantern costume's not quite as good.
Oh,
Um,
all the budget went to the Flash.
yeah, yeah.
That's where the
It's
money
not
was.
bad. It's not bad. The colors are good. Emblem's a little small. The mask, it's held on with a string.
Yeah.
And then we see the awesome pair, Franken and Davis. They're trying to get into the venue, and Franken at one point he says, "Hey, do you know the Spectre?" which amused me because the Spectre is a real comic book character who is an actual ghost. Uh,
Oh,
he was a police detective who's murdered by gangsters, and he literally like comes back from the dead as the spirit of God's vengeance,
oh my
and he
God,
and he killed criminals in all sorts of hideously creative and gruesome ways. Like
Jesus!
he would like turn a guy into wood and then cut him apart with a chainsaw.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, they could
Oh
do
my
all these
God!
bizarre things. That's what they could do. Like they do all these weird things to kind of get around the comics code. So you couldn't be like really gruesome, but you could do stuff like change them into wood and carve them up. And
That
what are some other things?
that sounds worse. That feels like it's
Yeah, I mean, it is in a way. It is rather disturbing.
that's so disturbing. Good
There was a
God.
series of Spectre stories in the 70s, and the guys who I think the editor who greenlit this revival of the character, he had just gotten mugged, so
Mm.
he was in a real like Dirty Harry sort of place.
Oh boy.
So they did this series of stories that was all about, and that was kind of the big gimmick, was the Spectre would kill the criminals in some bizarre,
Like
gruesome way.
like some
But
Bernard
it
Getz
was
shit.
still approved by the Comics Code. So
All right.
yeah,
It's all
it
good.
was wild. It was wild.
You
And interesting thing about the Spectre, also co-created by Jerry Siegel, the writer who came up with Superman.
Oh,
So
interesting. Okay.
yeah,
But yeah,
so one of his other characters is actually more powerful than Superman, because the Spectre can do like pretty much anything.
yeah, wow. Yeah, it sounds like a mix of like Ghost Rider and the Punisher or something.
Yeah, kind of. That sums it up pretty well. Yeah,
Holy moly.
yeah. And he looks like just like a ghost with a green cape and hood.
Wow. That
So
sounds where's that movie? Holy moly.
that would make a great movie. I bet James Gunn could make a great Spectre movie. I am
Ooh.
sure.
Oh my
I am
God.
sure he would. Yeah,
Wow. You hear that, James
that
Gunn?
would be a cool movie, man.
Get on it, James Gunn. Get on it.
Yeah. Oh,
But yeah,
damn, I really want to see that now. I hadn't thought of that, but damn, I want to see a Spectre movie now.
because like the way you described it, I was like, that sounds really kind of cool. Like, how come I haven't
Yeah.
seen him? Has the Spectre been in any like TV shows or movies or anything?
I don't think there's ever been a live action Spectre, and I can't even. There's been like an animated short with him.
All right, that's
Um,
all right.
and it was like some bonus feature on one of those other DC movies that they do direct to video. But yeah, they didn't have the rights to him when they were doing the Justice League cartoon, because I know they would have loved to do him. But no,
Okay.
yeah, the Spectre hasn't popped up in a lot of media adaptations. That would be
Wow.
really neat.
Yeah, it sounds like sounds like he's perfect for a movie or TV show or limited series or
Yeah, he
something.
would be neat. He had a series in the '90s by John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake,
Uh huh.
which was really cool, because he's a tough character to write, because his power is just literally infinite.
Oh, okay.
So they kind of, whenever they do him, they kind of have to figure out some limitations to him that aren't lame, that don't take the guts out of the character. So
Okay.
yeah, he's a tough character to do well, but and they played him a few different ways, where he's like uh, he's like the spirit of Jim Corrigan, this guy who was killed by
Right.
criminals.
Okay.
And sometimes they play it like they're two different guys, like, and sometimes it's like, there's not really any Jim Corrigan. It's just who the Spectre kind of pretends to be
Right.
sometimes. But yeah, it's neat.
There is no Dana, only Zool.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, got it. Oh wow.
But
All
anyway,
right.
I was tickled that they mentioned the Spectre. I guess Al Franken knows that character somehow.
Yeah, I guess so. Wow. Shout
Yeah,
out to Spectre.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So also, all right. So back to the 50th anniversary event. So we
Hmm.
see the deputy mayor Finn Howard pulls up in what
Yeah,
looks like a station wagon.
yeah. I guess
Uh,
so.
and you heard there was a buffet. He loves buffets,
Hmm.
freedom of choice, and everybody's
Yeah,
there to celebrate Superman. Dana Carvey is there trying to figure out what he's going to say to Superman. Talks to the
yeah.
camera.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, what would I say to him that wouldn't sound stupid? And it's like,
And,
well, maybe he's probably just heard it all before. Well, maybe I'll just say thanks.
and he'll understand because he's
Yeah,
Superman.
Dana Carvey did a pretty decent job hosting this, I think.
He did a decent job. Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
so. Then Kreskin appears, tells people that Superman's ride will be delayed.
Hmm.
Everybody's bummed out. But wait, what's that in the sky? Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's
Yeah,
an animated Superman flying through the sky and landing on
yeah. And then
the.
he lands on the top of a building, and then it like freezes on that, and then it goes to a mock comic book cover, where you see like some of the characters in the special at the bottom. They're pointing up at him. I remember seeing Brainwave in the left-hand corner there.
Ooh, good
Yeah,
eye. I didn't notice that.
yeah. Um,
And
and that was pretty much it.
yeah, I thought it was pretty. I thought it was cute enough. I thought
Yeah.
it was fine, funny.
Yeah,
Um,
and then they run the credits and they show some more clips and they have a credit at the end, and it's, and it's like, oh, thank you to all these people, and then it says, and especially all the comic book artists and writers and editors who've helped bring the Man of Steel to life since 1938. And I was like, well, maybe you should have featured some of them in the special.
Instead of giving Lou Reed some fucking airtime, how about just show the guy that drew the shit?
Maybe give John Byrne another 30 seconds or something, or
So,
mention Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster and talk about how they created the character.
It's like, no, we both put in Ralph Nader.
Yeah, I mean, we need time for Ralph Nader and the Amazing Kreskin.
Jesus.
So it's very random. It's kind of a dog's breakfast of a special.
Oh wow, I like that saying. I've never heard that one before.
It's like a British saying, I think. Yeah,
dog's breakfast.
Yeah, it's just this odd smorgasbord,
Okay. But yeah, I mean, apparently when this came out, the reviews were mixed, according to Wikipedia. In his review for the New York Times, John J. O'Connor praised Dana Carvey as the host as well as the history coverage regarding Superman, but criticized the comedy sketches as labored and uninspired. Conversely, Terry Atkinson praised the special in a review for the Los Angeles Times, calling it a delightful and frequently irreverent 60 minutes of nostalgia and nonsense.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Yeah. I found the a link to that New York Times review. He says Dana Carvey, the church leader of Saturday Night Live, is an appealingly enthusiastic host, and he's fine with dealing with the straightforward history of Superman in comic books, movie, and television serials and films. But too often he has to introduce labored comedy sketches that, despite the participation of names such as Hal Holbrook, Peter Boyle, Jimmy Breslin, and Ralph Nader, are sadly uninspired. I mean, because usually when you get those four guys together,
yeah, you get magic, baby.
It's just gold every time. At this stage of the pop game, Superman deserves more than a soggy, albeit good-natured send-up. And yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it too.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel the same way.
Like at this time, it was still kind of the default not to take superheroes or comic books seriously at all, and so this has a lot of that subtext to it. It was just like, oh, ha ha, isn't this silly?
Yeah. Enjoy, you nerds.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind it as much if the sketches were funnier,
Yeah, they're amusing at best, but they never really kind of get over that. Oh, this is actually pretty damn funny. That never gets quite there.
I feel like they went with their first ideas for a lot of these,
Sometimes your first idea is your best one.
Yeah, it was like, oh, what if Superman took a girl to prom? Okay. What if there's a lead line shop? Okay.
Done. All right. Done in time for...
What if there are thugs who talk about how bullets bounce off his chest? Okay.
Cool. Done in time for lunch.
I wonder if there are any ideas they rejected from this thing.
I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's... Yeah, I feel like they wrote this over a lunch break and then they shot it over the next lunch break.
Oops, all lunch breaks.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, Superman 50th anniversary. Is it worth your time to see on YouTube?
Maybe. I don't know. How valuable is your time?
Yeah, exactly. If you got an hour to kill and literally nothing else to do, sure, why not?
If you're curious. I mean, yeah, it's on YouTube. It's like 49 minutes without the commercials. So
yeah, actually, I found a version of it with the commercials. You see all these old commercials from the 80s in it. It's like that's
neat. Anything cool there?
Just like Crystal Light commercials, things like that. Fun stuff like that.
All right. So I believe in Crystal Light because I believe in me.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, if you want to take a trip down memory lane, you can go watch that. Live in the past.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that was this thing. I don't know if this has gotten me like really pumped to see the movie, but it's got a big Saturday Night Live connection, and I thought it was mildly interesting. So I was like, yeah, we could probably get an episode out of this. And darn it, we have.
Yes, and that's the episode. Thanks again for listening, everybody, to our podcast. As always, you can follow us on Blue Sky at SNL Nerds. You can go to Non-Productive.com, hit us up on our Patreon, go to our YouTube page, listen to this nonsense on the YouTubes. And as always, you can follow me on all the social medias at Darren Credible. That's DARIN Credible.
And if you want to follow me on the social medias, you can find me at Trumbull Comic, TRUMBULL, and the word comic. And so check us out. And next week, it's we're watching the new Superman movie because Beck Bennett's in it, so it counts as an SNL movie now.
Boom, done. Yes,
that's how it works. I don't make the rules. Actually, I do make the rules, but so.
It's here. It's happening. David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Holt, Anthony Kerrigan, Wendell Pierce, Isabella Merced, Nathan Fillion, and Beck Bennett. Superman, it's here. We've made it. Hot day.
Yeah. Gonna be fun. Looking forward to it. We're gonna see Superman. We're gonna see Guy Gardner. We're gonna see Metamorpho. We're gonna see Mr. Terrific. We're gonna see Hawkgirl. We're going to see Lex Luthor. We're going to see Crypto. We're going to see Mother effing Crypto.
Finally.
Yeah. A dog with superpowers. Come on. How can you not like that?
Oh, my God. It's everything you'd ever want out of life.
That's all I've ever wanted out of life.
Yeah. Got him. Got Mr. Terrific. Perry White. Cat Grant. My Lord. It's all here.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Tessmacher.
Tessmacher.
Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah.
Lots of people, and there's probably going to be a few surprises. I bet there's like a few cameos and things that we haven't heard tell of yet. So that's going to be fun. Of course, I know James Gunn. He's got a few surprises.
Yes, and of course, Beck Bennett, our connection as Steve Lombard.
Steve Lombard, who is the sportscaster for the Daily Planet, or the sports columnist for the Daily Planet, who was in the comics. He would always bully Clark Kent.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, he just seems like the big brash, mustachioed blowhard, and I mean Beck Bennett plays that to a T.
Great casting for that. Yeah, the bit they'd always do with Steve Lombard was he would always try to pull these lame practical jokes on Clark Kent, but then Clark Kent, because he has the superpowers and stuff, he'd always be like, "Oh, this is what Steve's trying to do. I'll use my superpowers and make the gag backfire on Steve." And that's pretty much what they did. That was like the one bit they did with Steve Lombard. And it got old really fast. Even as a kid, I remember being kind of sick of that.
Yeah, he was basically the Wile E. Coyote to Superman's Roadrunner.
Yeah, very much so. Well, very much so.
Just falling off of cliffs.
So, but it might be cute if they do that, as a gag in the movie. I wonder how much he's going to be in it. He's probably only going to be in it for like a scene or two or something, but who knows?
Probably. Who knows? It might be bigger, but even if he's in it for a scene or two, that'll be fine. It still counts. We can still talk about it on this podcast.
It still counts. Look, we did friggin' Batman Returns when Jan Hooks was in it. We did Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom when Dan Aykroyd's in it for like 20 seconds.
That's right.
Like you stick a frame of an SNL cast member in a movie, we will cover it if we decide to. So that's where we are. So I'm looking forward to that. So come back next week. Find out what we see, what we think of the Superman movie. You got like a week to see it now. So go check it out.
Go.
And we'll be back here, and we'll all discuss the new Superman movie together and see what we think of that. But until then, Nerds out!
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit Non-Productive.com.